Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I am Pastor Nick, and this is another edition of Marketplace Monday. I am so very thankful for each and every one of you for joining. I'm always get excited, particularly about this show, because for me, people that watch Marketplace Monday are people that are in corporate America, but more importantly, people that want to succeed in corporate America. So, we've been talking about excelling in your career with God through work and diligence, hard work and diligence. Um, you know, when we look at being fruitful in corporate America, we know there's lots of ups and downs. We know that, we go through a lot of different things from just times that we're working on ourselves and we're not fully prepared for the tasks that we're being given at work to the time that we do get fully developed and we're ready to go, and then politics plays into it, or maybe we're not developed in an area that's mature. So today, what I really been led to talk about, the topic strength and perseverance while working within corporate America, strength and perseverance while working within corporate America. I think it's very pertinent. I think it's very uh, uh, almost necessary to understand that to be successful in corporate America, it's going to require a commitment from us. It's going to require us, um, you know, what's the right word? It's going to require us knowing it's not always going to be easy. It's going to require us to have to endure. There's a word. Endure some things that we don't want to endure. Go through some things we don't want to go through, right? It's going to require perseverance. It's going to require us being strong, right? And I think the best way to look at this is let's look at the Apostle Paul. Paul didn't work in corporate America. I understand he was in ministry, but you have to understand his ministry was his calling. He believed it was his purpose, right? I think everybody that's in ministry today, part of their calling should always be to work and bring in resources, right? I don't ever see myself getting out of corporate America to do full time ministry until I have a stream of income coming in that's going to always allow me personally to financially contribute to the church from outside the church. This is just Pastor Nick talk. I was called, again, y'all know I have a calling of a king and a priest all my life. So, for instance, when I was at Revealing Truth Ministries, yes, I was there to learn to be a pastor. I was there to learn to be a good husband. I was there to learn to be a good father. I was there to learn to be a man of integrity and character. Those are all the things I was there for. But my calling while I was there, one of my callings was to be a financier of the vision. It still is. I still, part of, I'm not going to get into the aspects of what I do now, but there are things that I'm called to do there that I still do relative to my pastor. Because the point is, I'm called to finance the gospel, period. I think we're all called to finance the gospel. We're all called to give into the kingdom because the kingdom takes resources to build. In order for us to be able to give into the kingdom, we're going to have to win in corporate America. We're going to have to reign, rule, and dominate in corporate America. So let's just look at Paul, not so much from the fact that he is in ministry, but just his consistency and what he believed. Remember, Paul faced numerous trials, right? Paul was imprisoned. Paul experienced beatings. Paul experienced shipwrecks, right? During Paul's missionary ministry, man, he experienced all kind of hardships. And it was his perseverance in those hardships that teaches us the importance of commitment to our goals, commitment to our beliefs, right? So think about that as you make that applicable to today's modern career challenges, right? What are some of today's modern career challenges that you guys are going to be faced with? Well, number one, facing corporate America hierarchy. I call it the big butt kissing show. Here you are working your tail off, doing your best, doing unto others as God would have done unto you. And somebody's getting a promotion, not because they have earned it, not because they're qualified, but because they're worried about if they don't give them the promotion, they're going to get some kind of gender lawsuit. Think about the dynamics of corporate America now. My coffee cup from Italy, right? Or somebody's gonna pass you over for a whole bunch of different reasons. So you're dealing with corporate hierarchies. You're dealing with difficult coworkers that you're made to tolerate because man, they cause a lot of problems. We don't want problems. Are you listening to me? Overcoming professional setbacks. What about when you're doing good, you're working well, everything's going good, but then the company just downsizes? You had nothing to do with it. You're doing your job. You're on your P's and Q's. But the company just decides we're going to take a step back, or we're going to close that department, or we're going to change that role. Right? Those things happen. So as a believer, you have to have strategies in place to combat what you know is going to happen. And the simple example I can give you of this is the emergency fund. Let me ask you all a question. I want you to type in the chat box. But how many jobs, no, just put yes or no. How many of you believe within the next 15 or 20 years, you'll have more than one job? Yes or no? You'll have more than one job within the rest of your life. How many of you believe you'll have more than one more job? How many of you believe you have more than one more job? If you believe you have more than one more job, put yes. Yes, I believe I'll have more than one more job, or I'll have another business, or I'll have another career. How many of you believe you have more than one more job in the next rest of your life? Okay, I'm getting some mixed emotions. Wow, some of y'all think you won't have no more jobs. Okay. All right, well, I'm here to tell you, everybody that said no, if you're 40 or 50 years old, in other words, if you have at least 10 or 15 more years to work, you're going to have another job. I promise you. I promise you, right? Unless you have your own, and even if you have your own business. So what I'm saying is that's why I tell everybody, you have to be I don't want to use the word fool. You have to be oblivious, unaware to be a person that walks around without an emergency fund, because you're going to have another job. Are you listening to me? And when you get that other job, Jeremiah, you're not going to have another job. I don't know why you put yes in there. But anyway, when you have another job, you're going to have a period of transition. You're going to have a period of transition. And that period of transition costs money. So you got to plan for it. So let's look at that analogy and let's talk about maintaining faith and perseverance in the face of setbacks and disappointments in corporate America. Let's talk about that today, because I think we can all agree, even if you don't think you'll have another job, you're going to face setbacks and you're going to face disappointments. Maybe it's not getting, even if you don't get another job, maybe it's not getting promoted as fast as you wanted to. Maybe it's getting demoted. I don't know what setbacks you're going to face, but let's look at how we overcome them. Number one, write it down. Set clear goals. Set clear goals for your job. Keep a clear vision of your career goals. Keep a clear vision of your career goals and what you want to achieve. What is your ultimate goal? Is your ultimate goal to do a certain thing? Is your ultimate goal a certain amount of wealth? Is your ultimate goal a certain amount of security? What is the goal? Not of like the goal being, I want to be the biggest, CEO in the world, right? I'm not talking about that. But what are you looking to accomplish with your career, right? For my goals were always to finance the vision of God in such a way it makes an impact wherever I'm at. That's like one of my career goals. I want to use my job to give me the resources to impact the vision wherever I'm called to, whatever I'm called to sow into, in such a way it's a noticeable impact. I want it to be a noticeable impact, a tangible thing, right? So set clear goals. Number two, this is probably one of the most important things. It's funny, a guy that I'm working with now put this whole thing in of all these questions he asks people. The number one questions I ask people when I'm interviewing them? What's the last book you read? What's the last book you read? We must learn to embrace lifetime learning. We must continually seek opportunities to learn new skills and gain new knowledge. We must commit to our personal growth. That's not the job of your employer. That's our job. We must commit to continual growth. We must embrace continual learning. Think about that. Number three, I want to give these to you kind of quick today. You can go back and watch this over. Build a support network. You got to have a group of mentors, peers, supportive friends, pastors, elders in the church, people that you can go to and ask for advice. Watch this. Not only advice, ask for perspective, right? And also encouragement. You got to have people that you can kind of call up and throw up on sometimes when you're having a really bad day or a really bad time at work, right? A strong network can really provide practical help during these challenging times. And your job's always going to be challenging. Another big thing, and I really want to get all these out because they're good. These are some good things, man. I was really meditating on this, man, and this is good stuff. You got to practice, watch this, meditation, mindfulness, reflection, self-awareness. You got to kind of sit back once a month, once a week. You can't let yourself always get so far off track. The Bible says a little leaven leavens the whole lump. Some of y'all get so far off track, then your boss has to come in and have a big, come to Jesus with you. Those aren't good things. You need to when you get going in your job and one day becomes 5 days and 5 days becomes a week and a week becomes a month, you got to take a couple of hours, take a day, take what you need to sit down and reflect on what you're doing, why you're there, where you're being effective, where you're not being effective. Okay. Number 5, stay flexible. Flexible, adaptable, and adjustable. Don't be so rigid in your approach to everything, right? Be open to changing your path. Be open to new strategies. If the current, if what you're doing is not working, we're doing some new things at the church. What we've been doing is not working. We're trying some new things, but we're not going to just do stuff because everybody else is doing it or this person. We're going to pray. This conference we're having, the women's conference, it's like our first real ever conference. A lot of people don't know that. We've been around over 10 years as a church. And this is our first, a lot of churches just do conferences because they see everybody else doing conferences. And we're doing this conference because God gave my wife a revelation for women and she wrote a book. That's a good reason to have a conference. That's why we're having it. Number 6, celebrate small wins. Big doors swing on small hinges. Don't make everything about hitting the home run. Sometimes laying down a bunt and moving the player to the next base is a win. Celebrate wins. There's my baseball analogy from Mr. Dean. Sometimes you got to lay a bunt down to move your player from second base to third base. And now that guy's in scoring position. That's a win. Maintain a work-life balance. Very important that you don't get burned out. Take some time away from the job if you need it. Let your boss know it. I got 3 more. Seek, ask for, desire constructive criticism and feedback regularly. Don't just go get feedback when things get bogged up. Sometimes you get feedback, and constructive feedback and criticism sometimes adjust the path a little bit to get you to success. Number 9, stay positive. Man, there's nothing worse than working with a negative Nancy. Stay positive. Albert Analytical. Always analyze that. Be a positive influence. And lastly, to really keep this tight, always reflect on your values and your mission, what you write down, why you're there for. You know, Galatians 6:9 says it this way as I close in the Amplified. It says, and let us not lose heart and grow weary and faint in acting nobly and doing right. For in due time and at the appointed season, we shall reap if we do not loosen and relax our courage and faint. We shall reap if we do not loosen and relax our courage and faint. It takes courage, folks. It takes courage, folks, to persevere. It takes courage. So listen, I love you guys. I'm going to close with the ladies conference. If you're not signed up, man, let's be the women. It's going to be a great conference. I'd like everybody that's come and signed up this week at some point. We got a lot of planning to do. We got to plan, prepare. We really want to know if you're here. I'd like to get the majority of the people that are coming signed up. So if you haven't signed up, this is the week, man. Let's get everybody signed up. I love you. I love you. I love you. Listen, Wednesday, my wife will continue her interview session with Miss Lakeisha. It's been great, ladies. Please, all of you get on. If you have a girlfriend that's thinking about coming to the conference, invite her to Wednesday. If you don't know how to invite, simply invite somebody to the show. Get with Jeremiah, get with me, call us, call Athena at the church. We'll show you how you copy and paste the link and you text it out. Matter of fact, maybe we'll text you a shareable link. I'll talk to Athena about that. And you can share it, right? Share the link to Wednesday with a friend. That'll give them a good taste of what the conference is going to be like. I love you, I love you, I love you. Until next time, Pastor Nick saying, enjoy life.
I'm Pastor Franny. I've been married for over 40 years, and many women have asked me, what is the secret to a successful, happy marriage? Well, the short answer is Jesus. But there's a bit more to it, and it goes much deeper than our outer beauty, right? I'm sure you guys know that. What if I told you that God gave you a superpower just for your marriage, so that when utilized properly, you can turn even the worst situations from a nightmare to a dream? I'm talking about owning your own strength, discovering your God-given superpower, and walking in victory. If you want to unleash that power, then you've got to attend the Let's Be the Women Conference. It is based on my brand new book, Let's Be the Women and Let the Men Be the Men. Mark your calendars. On Friday, April 26th, I'm going to be dropping some serious wisdom straight from this book, which is based on the book, the Word of God. But that's not all. On Saturday, April 27th, we're going to be switching gears with a luncheon, a fabulous Italian feast at Maggiano's Little Italy. Imagine this: delicious food, lasagna, calamari, zucchini, oh my, interactive games, amazing prizes, and an in-depth review on the book. And guess who I have the honor of joining me? My very own spiritual mom, Pastor Deborah Poe, overseer of Revealing Truth Ministries. On Sunday morning, April 28th, Pastor Deborah Poe will deliver our final word to close out the conference. It's going to be a weekend to remember. We will answer your burning questions and leave you feeling empowered and ready to conquer the world. So, are you ready to be the woman you were always meant to be? Join me for the Let's Be the Women Conference. The services on Friday and Sunday are absolutely free to attend.
Tickets for the luncheon on Saturday are just $29.95, and the book is $19.95 if brought separately. Or you can get the combo for just $39.95. That's the luncheon ticket and the book for $39.95, a $10 savings.
So invite your sister, your mother, your aunties, your titi, your girlfriends, your gram, and don't miss this life-changing experience. Sign up now at www.ltmorlando.org/women, and I'll see you there.